1,800 of the 5,100 dams are in Maharashtra. And how much area is irrigated in Maharashtra? It's one of the lowest, less than 10% by major and medium irrigation projects. Which is the state which has the largest number of tanker-fed villages in India? That's Maharashtra. And in Maharashtra, 2% of the irrigated area which grows sugarcane, this World Bank figure, takes 70% of the irrigation surface water. So, I mean, but there is no accountability. So, I mean, these are, one can go about so many figures. So, what we need is all this. And secondly, we need to realize, actually our, as I said, 7 out of 64 million hectares of net irrigated area, latest estimate says that 38 to 39 million hectares is from groundwater. 85% of our rural water supply comes from groundwater. 60 to 80% of urban water supply or commercial water supply comes from groundwater. And with every passing day, the proportion of water that we get in every subsector is increasing. So what we need to focus is that how do we sustain groundwater lifeline? Because that is our water lifeline, whether we like it or not. It will, and it's going to remain for many years to come. We need to sustain that. What is the best way to sustain groundwater lifeline? We need to understand where does the recharge from groundwater come? Protect them. We need to increase groundwater recharge. We need to regulate groundwater use. And regulation, how can you regulate groundwater use? The groundwater are based on aquifers. Aquifers are local systems, mostly, except in bigger like Indo-Gangetic plains, there are bigger aquifers. But in peninsular India, there are small aquifers. So we need to map aquifers, which is now we are going to do in 12th five-year plan. And we need to have aquifer-based management systems. Regulation. Where it has happened, there has been success in regulating groundwater. Whether it is Samadhyala village in Saurashtra, or there are many other, in Andhra Pradesh in a large area it has happened because of, there has been huge effort to educate the people about the water balance, the groundwater, how much comes in, where does it come in, how much bank balance of water they have, how much they can use. So they collectively decide cropping pattern. So we need a lot of things like this. So we need to ensure all that. Secondly, we need to have appropriate cropping pattern, incentive for appropriate cropping patterns. We need to have real serious promotion of methods like system of rice intensification, which rice is the most water intensive crop. And SRI can take reduce water content requirement by 50% or less, and yet increase the yield. And this is not theoretical academic exercise. Lakhs of hectares in India have shown this over many, many years. In Andhra Pradesh, in Tamil Nadu is the biggest success story, but even in Tripura, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, many places. It's not happening almost at all in Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, where it should happen because the groundwater depletion is highest in this region. These are our grain bowls. So, I mean, so there are a lot of options available. And if groundwater, and hence, even though our major and medium irrigation projects are not paying, not delivering, even in the 11th five-year plan, 70% to 75% of our water sector budget is going for the same projects. Why? In any other country, this would have been a scandal. Even this we have been saying for many years, but even the midterm appraisal of 11th five-year plan has acknowledged exactly this. They've said irrigation is not happening. CAG report after report, CAG is saying irrigation projects are not delivering. AIBP is a failure. Accelerated Irrigation Benefits Program, through which additional funds are being pumped, thousands of crores every year. Sardar Sarovar, incidentally, is the biggest beneficiary of AIBP. They should get no funds from AIBP. But the biggest one project which has been biggest beneficiary of AIBP, because AIBP was supposed to be for last mile project, a project which can be completed in 2 seasons. But from the first year of AIBP in 1996, when Chidambaram floated this idea in his budget speech, till today, Sardar Sarovar gets the largest amount of money. When it should not have got, it's not going to be completed for next 20 years, according to Gujarat's own plan. So there are a lot of issues because there is no governance, there is no accountability. So we need to start from that and start from bottom-up process. National water policy is being formulated. But we have written to them, take it to Gram Sabha. Ask them what kind of policies we need. So we need similarly at river basin, we were talking about river basin planning, but as Iyer Saab has been saying, we need to start at watershed level and then go up to the river basin. But we are doing the other way around. We start at river basin level and then we talk about interbasin without even going to the watershed. So, I mean, these are the very serious problem. It seems we are going to face more disaster before we learn lessons. But the people are learning lessons. In Punjab, for example, they have come out with an act that you can't plant paddy before certain date. I think it is 20th of June in Punjab and Haryana around 10th of June. Because they used to find that earlier summer cultivation units, slowly people are learning. There was a Central Groundwater Board report now from Punjab. The misnomer is that Bhakra has created the surplus in Punjab. The Central Groundwater Board now report says that 27% of irrigation is at all that's happening from canals in Punjab. 73% of irrigation is actually coming from groundwater. Most of it is being mining of groundwater, not the recharged groundwater. So I think, and so we need to actually turn around our water policies, protect rivers, wetlands, harvest water where it falls, make it the center of our focus, not the lip service. I was just at All India Radio with a debate with the National Water Development Executive Director General. He said we are doing all that. We are doing rainwater harvesting, we are doing groundwater recharge, we are doing demand side management, we are doing efficiency improvement. They are doing all that at lip service level. Money is all going for big projects. We need to reverse that. And of course, we need huge governance reforms in water sector. So I think that's the way forward. There are so many indications available based on ground realities. Sorry for long.
No, I just wanted to say that you asked a question about river linking. There's not a single case of river linking which has been successful. I mean, I was going to give you an idea about one of the biggest disasters is the Ammu Darya and the Sidh Darya, where the RLC is finished today, thanks to the fact that they took all the water out from those rivers for cotton cultivation. Now there's nothing there. It's completely finished. The Colorado River was taken for California. The two states downstream, New Mexico and Arizona, and Mexico, which is not reported because it's Mexico, have been in a continuous drought situation. And you should look at some of the data that is exchanged between California and these states. They don't know what to do. Then I gave you an example about what has happened in Punjab, Pakistan, Punjab, particularly after the Indus Water Treaty. Then I forget the name of the river. In Russia, they tried this experiment, and it was completely abandoned. So I just wanted to point out to your question that there is not a single river linking treaty actually which has done any good at all. So it's a very disastrous thing to interfere with nature. We have done it for 200 years. We better stop now. Because nature has made some things, and there has to be a reason, It has made us too, but apart from that. But Himanshu, I don't quite agree with you about saying that we'll solve our problems by water harvesting. I mean, of course, it's a good idea. But if you realize, as you pointed out, 9 feet was the minimum loss you were showing in groundwater per year. And, in all this northwest India, all the way from Gujarat till here, there's been a loss in groundwater of something like 25 meters. Now the point is, most of these aquifers that we are going to map today, as they say, are not that deep. They finish off at that level. Even you can go to the best aquifer in Delhi, the Mehrauli aquifer. The point is, if 30 years of green revolution have done this and brought the level down to 25 meters, at 10 centimeters recharge per day, and you can add to it maybe, it's going to take you 30 years if you stop using that groundwater as you are now. It's not, I'm sorry to say, I do not agree with you at all. It's not a simple problem. It's a 50-year-old problem on which if you start working now, you might save some of it. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Talking of projects and talking of moving forward, we have very clear-cut 2 options. Either we have the projects and shove them down through the throats of the people, or we have projects after a proper understanding whether they are needed or not. Now, as we know that conflicts are rising, whatever we may plan, we may wish to do, will not happen come what may. So I think the best way forward is first understand your own systems. Without understanding our own systems, we are aping the West like anything. We have done that for last 60 years and we continue to do that. I was really surprised to hear the gentleman talk about the Tennessee Valley experiment as a successful experiment that should be, which is not really. If that was, then Damodar Valley would not have failed the way it has. So I think the best way forward is let the state decide. For next 10 years, moratorium on any new project whatsoever. For next 10 years, all these engineers, all these scientists, all these social people, they must get together and understand their systems first. Have the right kind of knowledge base, have the right kind of data, the right kind of democracy that is prepared. And then we think of moving forward. Because if you don't have a moratorium, things will continue to happen the way they have been happening all through. The powerful, may the politically powerful or the corporate powerful, they will continue to shove the projects down the throats. And more conflicts will happen. All these, like he said, even the Narmada project is not a completed project. And one of the criticism of NBA is, you see, by stopping the project, you have so much escalated the cost. At what cost? At whose cost? This cost comes from whose pocket? What are we talking about? So I think the time has come when we must make a very conscious decision. No more projects of any kind till we understand. That is the precautionary principle, and that is the time has come when it is actually put into implementation.
We've had a very interesting presentation and a rich discussion. I think all this will have to be drawn together in the end. We'll have to have a comprehensive program after the whole series is finished to pull everything together and formulate lessons for what we should do in future. So I think we've reached 8 o'clock now. I think thank you very much. Thanks to all the participants and to the panelists. Thank you very much.